You're tuned to Planet Vero Radio. I am Cindy Schwartz, and this is the Patient Partner Show. We are broadcast on 101.7 FM Real Radio, WCZR, and we're podcast on Spreaker and then distributed on its platforms. I'm going to go through the introduction real quick today because I have an exciting show. We've got some live guests on that are going to talk about healthcare apparatus, healthcare garments, because like we've all discussed, a lot of these things come about. Jeannie Rolla, my co-host, is with me also listening in. These things have happened to us, and we don't want it to happen to anyone else. We want to get in the forefront of this movement to recognize that, yes, there still needs to be patient dignity, patient respect, and some of these procedures do not have to be where the patient is totally naked. So I want to get right on. We are talking with the ladies who are the inventors of Heart Snug. It is a garment for the medical procedures. We have Sarah Dorband and Lauren Aulick on the line with me, and I want to get right to you guys. Sarah, go ahead. Tell us what Heart Snug is. Tell us why you created it, what the whole movement is about, and let's get this medical situation fixed.
Let's do it. Okay, well, first off, we want to thank you so much, Cindy, for your time. So Heart Snug is, as you put it, a medical disposable bra, and it was created for patient privacy. And what happened was when I was a young girl, I had open heart surgery, and I was in and out of the hospital with multiple procedures. And especially as I became a teen, I was very insecure around all of the chest exposure. Fast forward a few years ago, I had a stroke, which landed me back in the hospital. And again, I thought, gosh, all these years later, there's still so many people, residents, doctors, physicians, whatever it may be, with all the chest exposure. And often they just put a towel on to listen to my chest above it, or with the stethoscope, there's a vulnerability. And I'm very, very insecure around my chest and that exposure. So I spoke to my childhood best friend, Lauren, and we created the first ever patented essentially bra, where it gives patients a feeling of empowerment. They feel safe and dignified in their medical experience.
Okay, and so just real quick, Lauren, it's paper. It's got elastic. It's got a closure so it can fit multiple people.
Absolutely. We're saying you can use it from teen, and who we are interacting with and really having the biggest impact is from teen to geriatric care. So whether you have teen girls that are going through their body changing and just don't feel comfortable. There's a whole slew of reasons why people don't go to doctors or feel uncomfortable going to doctors, especially around different sex or cultural issues, or feeling modest. So really we designed Heart Snug so that's easily accessible for doctors. It fits most body types, and really helping provide that one more layer than that one size fits all gown. Like Sarah said, we decided enough was enough. With medical garments today, the needle has not moved, and we want to move that needle. Like Sarah said, we're not just creating a bra, we're creating a movement. And so it should be the patient choice, not necessarily the provider. So we're working at all different types of angles. You can get it on Amazon soon. We're launching. We're working with large medical hospitals and providers so that when you go in, our goal is so that you are offered not only a gown, but a bra as well. So we're trying to move away from the one size fits all gown, where oftentimes actually it's one size. They sometimes have to give you two to do the trick. So we're just saying enough's enough.
And so
might I add also,
Go ahead.
I wanted to add that what differentiates our product, Heart Snug, is there's a front Velcro closure that we've created, and there's elastic at the bottom. So for example, when you're going into a mammogram, you can remove one of the sides and Velcro it, put your breast in the mammogram machine and have that while the other breast is covered. And another thing, there's no metal in Heart Snug, so it can be worn in MRIs, it can be worn in ultrasounds, etc. So that's something to know.
And your website is heartsnug.com, so it's HEARTSNUG.com. People can get more information about that. Is the product now available, or are we waiting for a little while for testing and stuff? And what about the sterility of it? Do you have questions from doctors about that?
Actually, it's ready to go worldwide right now. We're working all over, and as far as doctors are concerned, it provides them easy and quick access to the chest when needed. So it's a sterile one. It's California Prop 65 approved, so no carcinogenics within the materials, but we are ready to go. So definitely go online at heartsnug.com, order a sample, especially if you're a medical provider. When you're in your next appointment, hey, mention HeartSnug. Hopefully they already know about it. Follow us on Instagram. We're at HeartSnug. So we're ready to send out, again, we have been sending out samples and getting the trials going and creating this movement. We're really proud of it.
Yeah, I am proud of you guys, too. I'm so glad. Misty Roberts is the person that put us in contact together. So we've mentioned Misty on this podcast so many times at medicalpatientmodesty.com. She's on Facebook and all of that. And, a lot of it, we say it's not about modesty. I know personally I've had the medical community push back when you mentioned that word. It isn't about modesty, honestly. It's about dignity and it's about respect, and that's for all of the people involved. I know Dr. Bruce Levy, Misty met him, and I interviewed him on this podcast. He invented some other orthopedic garments and stuff, and it's they don't want to be, medical community want to actually be exposed to all of people's intimate parts and everything either. It's embarrassing for them, and it's I don't want to say off-putting, but we're all in the same situation. People, let's get the movement going and have the conversation that there are things wrong and there are things that need to be changed, and it doesn't mean that it's not sterile and it's not this and it's not that. Jeannie Roller, what about you?
I yield to the ladies so they can give more information.
Okay. Do you think it's a good product, Jeannie? Yeah. Are you going to buy it?
I think it's a good product. I think that, for EKGs and such, I think cardiologists should be offering the product.
Yeah.
And let me add to that.
Yep, go ahead.
What I want to add to that is we specifically designed it with EKGs in mind and the stethoscope, because I'm a heart patient. So it has been tested. There's no interference with the stethoscope. I was in the ER recently, full set of 9 leads were on me, and I was able to keep HeartSnug on underneath the gown. And ultimately what we're saying is in 2023, we want there to be an option for women, right? Maybe some don't necessarily feel the need, but there's a huge population that do. And we're just excited to provide that to patients.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that we're all having this conversation because we're all on the same page. We are. And a lot of times it seems that some of the medical community's hands are tied, that it's corporate or admin or whatever that decides these things. But I think if you eke it in there or whatever, and say, listen, this is what I want to do. This is how I want my procedure to go. I'm really not comfortable with, and I'm going to be facetious here, with the little tissue that you just gave me to cover my groin area, my breast area. In this case, HeartSnug is for the breast area. But, that's not working for me. Then we need to have the conversation and decide something different. So it's heartsnug.com. It is available now. You've got it on different platforms. You're getting the word out there, both Sarah Dorband and Lauren Orlick. I really appreciate it. We have like a minute left. Any closing remarks real quick?
Well, I think Medical Patient Modesty puts it perfectly. It's on their website, because something is done in the name of health doesn't make it blindly acceptable.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I think we just all have to look at it and just look at, what we're doing currently. We know more. Let's go for this. Let's do more, So, and as women, just, have a stronger voice, and, we're teaching our teens, you don't have to get naked necessarily if you don't feel comfortable. As a kid, for us, we didn't necessarily have a choice.
Look into heartsnug.com, and it solves an issue. You've been listening to Planet Vera.